starting to rain here. We had to move under the tent. Saw a couple comments on there. Without my glasses, it's hard to see. Does it say Christine? Is that what it says?
I think so.
And Derek and Michael. Hello. Just give a minute here for a couple people to get on.
What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Cosmos. Ford, Two Feathers, Lee, Tim, and I can't keep up now. Oh boy.
Rodney, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a live. I'm a little tired.
We haven't really had time for a live.
We have been busy. Oh my gosh, have we been busy. A lot going on, that's for sure. Even more than what you know. You have no clue. Some of our Patreons know a little bit about what's going on around here, but yeah, there's a lot of craziness. We'll take a few questions in a couple minutes. We'll talk about a couple of the recent projects that we just did. And then,
Got a ton more lined up.
oh yeah,
Brandon changed over to his Highway Hunter Ray channel. Don't you hate it when you got to change channels for stuff like that?
So I'm trying to even think when the last live that we did was. Is before Jerry's bus. Did we do one with Michael's bus here?
I don't know if we did.
I don't think so. I think it's been a while.
I think the last one I remember is when the Bethunes were here.
Very well, maybe have been the last one that we did.
Because I was late.
You know. So, anyways, yeah, we've been crazy busy, as you've been seeing. A lot of wander lodges. I'm supposed to have a RTS here today, but it's coming in the morning now. And honestly, tomorrow's probably going to be a rain out day, so I don't think you'll really see anything of it tomorrow. And possibly even Tuesday's going to be a rain out day, so we might not be able to get till Wednesday. So an RTS is a intercity kind of transit bus, kind of like the newer version of a fishbowl is how I would sort of describe it. Very modern looking. This particular one has a 6V92 TA in it.
With incredible horsepower numbers. Just incredible.
Its horsepower is really low number. But that should make it last a long time, you know, if he drives it slow and does all that kind of stuff. So I feel more confident knowing that it's set up low like that. What else we got going on here? There is another Wonder Lodge coming in later this week. Michael's coming back just for some routine stuff, like parts that we had ordered when he was here before that we didn't get to. He knew he was going to be coming back through, so we're going to get to those, and slack adjusters. And after seeing the thermostat scare on, I guess not really a scare, the thermostat issues on Jerry's Wonder Lodge, he wants to go ahead and replace his thermostats just so we can get in there and look at them and replace them. And then he also wants to have his water pump rebuilt as well. Oh, hey, super chat from Ford Goldwing. Hello from Minnesota again. Love what you're doing for the new shop. Thank you. Yeah, the shop is coming along. Maybe 2.5 weeks we'll have a foundation, something like that. That's probably an optimistic number, but once the foundation's in, it should go up pretty quick. We'll at least get the roof, the roof of the shop up right away, and then yeah. So, I mean, ideally, I can see us within a month having a roof over our head for like a time like this when it's raining. But it's going to make it difficult to figure out which buses I'll put in and not put in, too.
In frames would be nice in there.
That would be very nice. I think that should be a requirement. Yeah. Which, speaking of in frames, do you want to announce it now, or do you not want to announce it now?
You mean you've already kind of said it? So
They have no clue. They don't know what I'm talking about.
So we had a compression tester out the other day because Lance dropped the bus off for an oil leak. So I'll have videos out on that. I think Monday and Wednesday will be the 2 videos. That's when those are scheduled to go.
So keep an eye out on the Indiana Diesel channel. Indiana Diesel from Tennessee.
Yeah.
He'll got some Hey Lance moments going on there. on
He
his
also
bus.
just did a whole Lance rescue of a bus.
He did. That old McDonald's bus that I worked on a few years ago, the one where they did an engine swap on it, and the mechanic died before the engine swap got done, and it went to another mechanic, and then that mechanic died before it got done, and then I went in to finish up the job. The two previous people had died. That particular bus had sold, and Lance bought it, and then Tyler got it running again. It had been sitting, and they drove it all the way back from Ohio down here to Tennessee last weekend. He's got videos of that on his channel.
Yeah, so that was a fun trip.
Yes.
There were no real Hey Lance moments on that one, but there was definitely one when we got back. Other bus, though, was fine.
Oh, I've had a lot going on the Patreon channel. If you think about joining that, it's a really cool thing to do, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. So if you want to keep up with things that are going on the property and things like that, that's a cool way to do that. We have a lot of guests coming and going. We have a lot of new rules that we're going to have to apply to the stuff. Just so many people coming and going, it's hard for us to, I let them stay on their bus while they're here. I think I was giving the impression that maybe that was a campground, and that's my fault for not explaining some rules clearly and stuff like that. It's just they're here at the shop. I let them stay on their bus instead. I have to pay for a hotel room the whole time. But we need to have some real strict rules here, and it's all my fault. There's a huge post on my Patreon about that. As far as the property goes, I mean, all the trees are green as can be now, leaves everywhere. Starting to see some ticks already. We're going to be treating for ticks. I have an MCI 5 Saudi coming in this month. That'll be exciting. And then there's another Wonder Lodge coming in at the beginning of June.
What's that one? What's that one?
92 Series Detroit.
No, what are we doing to it?
He just bought it and has all kinds of questions and stuff. So it's been sitting for a while too.
Okay.
So
I didn't know about that one yet.
It's one of those, yeah, we have no idea what's going to be going on with it. Yeah, allergies out here. If you have allergies, there's lots of sneezing and watery eyes and coughing and stuff going on from people around here. I fired my bus up yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen your bus start up.
Yeah.
I guess it's been the same amount of time since mine started, though we should probably do that at some point, but I guarantee the batteries are dead.
You want to read some of those questions, Tyler?
We'll grab this one right here.
You're right in front of the camera when you're doing that.
Oh, I don't know how that works. Okay. Any guess when service trips will resume?
No, I have no idea. I have enough scheduled here right now, and we're trying to get the property developed up and everything. So I'm going to say that this year is probably a washout. But we're not giving up on that. That is still a plan.
Are you spreading and screening, finishing the concrete yourself?
No, we're hiring a contractor to do all of that. I expect it to be done perfect.
Where's the thing?
It's in the, I'll call it a garage. What should I call it? Garage hut?
It's in the garage next to my Harley. They're sitting in storage over there. It'll be fine. Did you get the spring issue resolved on Lenny?
No, his leaf spring is still laying over there. That's one of those when I get time things. It'll be nice to do it in the shop, though.
Doing D-Deck now. Why?
Because I had the tools to do it. That was the whole... I'd always said I don't want to have to buy the tools for it. I don't need to because I'm busy enough with what I'm doing. One of our friends came here who had an issue and we needed to buy it, so we broke down and bought it, and now we can do it.
How many acres are there here?
25.
All right, if you guys want to post questions, please post them in all caps, and that's what I'm looking for when I see stuff.
Yeah,
scroll
all caps
by.
stand out really easy for us to make it super easy to pay attention to it. That's funny, man.
Will you build a home there besides the garage?
Yes.
Do you like or dislike the D-Deck scanner?
Um, I mean, it is what it is. It's not like you're going to find something else to communicate with the DDEC, so you're kind of stuck with it. So it works. So I have no complaints.
Someone was asking what a treadle valve is. I'm assuming that's what they're asking. Treadle valve is the brake valve that controls all the airflow to the brakes. It's starting to rain more.
Yeah, we have been so busy, and we just lack of sleep, working so much, one project to another. Even if we're not working on a bus, there's plenty of stuff to do here on the property. Today we spent the morning cleaning the pad up down there. Not just oil stains on it, other issues. We've had problems. The last 3 RVs that were on that pad all had black tank leaks on it, which was really disgusting to me, and has brought up a few new rule changes here on the property. So we pressure washed the whole concrete pad down. We cleaned the mulch area up where it had got a lot of mud had been washed on it when that dirt washed away like a month ago. I just hadn't had time to get down there and clean it. So we got down there and did that.
Okay. I can grab a couple more of these. Someone said hello from Florida. The Florida Route 103 is back up and running after a starter issue.
Oh, good.
Do you plan on working on the property permanently?
No, we still do plan on traveling. We will still be here quite a bit. I think we're going to do a couple different trips a year is our plan.
With no title, is a 1970 PD 4108 worth picking up $3,000? Getting a title can be a very terrible experience if you have to sometimes.
It really depends on the condition of the vehicle, because I've seen plenty of Buffaloes that are not worth $3,000.
With the title.
Yeah.
Can you add propane to a DDEC?
Of course.
Did you not include that in the video?
I don't think I did.
Oh. We did. Jerry's got propane. Where are you with the indie real estate market? It's hot right now.
We're working on it. Kelly was up there this past week working on the house, taking care of the fence, the yard, cleaning things up, getting the house ready. It's been hard with how much we've been working to get the house ready to sell.
Is the 2-cycle diesel oil injected via a separate oil tank?
No, it doesn't work like that. You don't put
It has.
You don't mix oil in the fuel like you do a regular 2-stroke.
It's got a complete oiling system like a regular engine.
Yeah. The oil goes in the pan.
Someone says they say he made it back from the MCI bus. Yeah, that was actually only Thursday to Sunday that trip took us. It wasn't too bad at all. We drove up Thursday, worked Friday, worked Saturday, drove half the day Saturday, and drove Sunday. The last video actually just went live for that. Oh no, it reset where I was.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, I shouldn't have let go of the screen.
The thing just went crazy and shot way up.
Do you let fans come help?
Yeah, yes and no. We only allow Patreon members to come to the property. And if that was somebody that wanted to come here and help, you would need to join Patreon first, and then we could chat about it. But we don't want just people that we don't know, unfortunately. And especially because of the COVID stuff going on, we've not had people coming like we used to do. So we used to do a lot of jobs where we would let people come and volunteer and stuff like that. But currently, right now, we are not doing that.
How many buses does Lance have? Are you having to think about that number?
If I even knew, I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say.
There are 4 for the Lucky Dog fleet. There are 4 buses for that fleet, for sure.
And then others.
Yeah, there's some stuff sitting. If you guys actually watch in the video I posted when we were going out there, you saw a couple that you don't know about, but... Where's the golf cart?
It's just right behind me there. Golf cart's been doing great. We had one issue with it the other night. Luckily, Kelly came out, and for some reason, something was either like on it, like all the resistor was hot. The seat was super hot. It was just building up massive amounts of heat under there. So I don't know if maybe like a rock or something was stuck under the throttle pedal just a little bit when we were parked. and it was kind of engaged the motor or something. We immediately turned it off, let it cool off, charged it, and it's been fine. I have not had that issue recreate itself, but I'm more careful now about turning the key to off when I get off of
Does
it.
it seem slower since that happened though? Because you had issues getting up the hill the other day. I
I
don't know
didn't-
that your
I-
toolbox got that much heavier.
I don't think it seems slower, but was it yesterday when we came up the hill and it was really slow? That's because I didn't charge it the night before. I'd only run it up the hill.
Well, like 2 or 3 days ago, you had to. Well, I guess that was a traction issue. You had to
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, I couldn't make it up the hill without help with the tool with my toolbox cart that I built. It's been slowly gaining tools, and a few days ago it wouldn't come up the hill. But it wasn't the golf cart; the tires were spinning. It's just a traction issue. If he then stood on the trailer hitch part of the golf cart, and then it went up the hill.
I've noticed like after it rains here on the driveway though, the driveway gets really loose on that
Slippery.
top shirt.
Yes. Delete that, dude.
Oh, give me a second here.
Well, not only is he calling me a lard,
Insults are $100, man. Come on, step your game up here. Thanks for playing. Next time, come with some real money. You still have the 6-wheeler.
yes, it is for sale. If anybody's interested, though, I would like to kind of flip that into something else so that I can eventually get a side by side here for the property. That was just a really good price on that, and it was fun to have for a little bit. And it's not the most practical vehicle to have, but
It does float. We already tested that though.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about sinking the first time.
it floats and it moves from A to B. If somebody wants a fun little project, that would be the great thing to have.
Do you recommend any resources to learn from?
The book, the Detroit Diesel book, is very clearly written out and explains things in great detail.
They wrote the shop manual so any idiot could pick it up and fix it. They really did. How's the dually? It is the best rolling dumpster ever.
Yeah, it goes to the dump a couple times a week. We've been generating a lot of trash here, and we don't have trash pickup here at the property. But you can take 200 pounds a day for free at the dump.
Is the belt clutch fixed now?
It's never been broken. It just. What would you say about it?
On the
The 6x6.
It's been the least of our problems. It likes to break shear pins more than anything.
Yeah, so it's definitely engaging.
Are you still planning on in-floor heat for the shop?
Yes.
Sage pointed out too, the Detroit Diesel manuals are on the website.
Yeah, they're on the busgreasemonkey.com website. If he's missed your question up to now, you may want to ask it again, because I don't think it doesn't look like he wants to really scroll back through anymore.
No, it'll reset again as soon as we try it. Someone said you stated that K&N filters were bad for Detroit.
Yes, they're horrible for them. Do not ever put one on. It is the worst thing you can do. It's next worst thing to not having an air filter in there. They just pass way too much dirt, and there's too much suction, too much CFM moving through it with the blower and the turbo. Way too much air going through there.
What kind of lift in the new shop?
I'm hoping to get lifts like what Rob had when we were at his place down in Texas last year. So there was a Wonder Lodge that I worked on a huge farm down in Texas, if you remember it. Did new wheel bearings and brakes and other stuff, and he had these great hydraulic wheel lifts that raised the bus up a few feet. They were really, really convenient, and I really liked them, and that's what I want to do here. So that's my plan. But I don't think they were too expensive. They were $5,000 or $6,000 for the pair of two, I think is what he paid. I think they listed like around 8 or 9, but he said you can find them on sale like that. So that's the direction I want to go.
Progress with Bailey's 4104.
We haven't done anything. We've been busy.
And Cosmos is reminding everyone to, if you want to ask a question, just use all caps, lowercase chat. It's just for amongst yourselves.
Yeah, if you're asking a question and it's not capitalized, that's why he's not reading it, because we don't even look for those. So retype it in all caps.
Would you recommend swapping from an oil bath to a fixed element filter?
I like the oil baths, but maintenance-wise, it's much easier to change a paper element filter. So I changed my first bus. I had changed it from oil bath to paper element. This one I still have is oil bath. Other than the fact that you got to maintain them more, I like them. They're great in dusty conditions. If you drive on a lot of dusty roads, the oil bath is very, very good.
How's my bus coming along? Slowly. I've been working on the next video for a couple weeks now and haven't gotten all that far on it. I got a lot of parts here. I got to get time. There's paying customer work to do, so I'm not going to ignore that to work on my stuff. Can you burn trash here?
Yes.
The amount of cardboard we burn is insane.
I do not have a spare Allison V730.
Okay. Do you have anyone you send people for restoring the inside of buses?
No, we don't.
How thrilled was the last Wonder Lodge owner?
I think he was pretty happy to have his powerful bus that he never knew had that much power.
I don't think it's ever had that. That was the factory mat.
I do suspect that Wonder Lodge has never had full throttle since it came out of the factory, because that was under the factory carpeting in there, where that rubber was at, and it was like it was pre-cut but not removed. It was very strange, and the computer had never been read, so nobody would have ever known that sensor was not getting
Complete travel.
to full position.
Someone said a pit would be cleaner, or cheaper, sorry. And safer. It's not necessarily safer.
It is not safer. It is not easier. For me to lay down on my back and work over my head, I can do that all day long. If you want me to stand up here and look up and hold my hands above my head and work, I cannot do that. I have neck and back issues. That is not a comfortable way for me to work. Plus, it's hard. Try torquing main bearings in a pit. It is not possible. You have to do it from outside the pit, so now you're hovering over the pit with your legs trying to tighten stuff down, and it sucks. Everybody thinks a pit is like the God's all gift to mechanics.
They
is
have
not.
their place, but we're going to have the same accessibility with a set of portable lifts to get underneath of it and do the work when we absolutely need to. It'd be a lot nicer when it comes time to do something like, let's say, drop a fuel tank. We can disconnect it, set the tank on cribbing, lift the bus up and stuff like that. But then we don't have a giant hole in the shop floor to fall, or that we can't get jacks and creepers and everything else to roll across. It's going to fill with water, and
Plus,
they just cause
from
issues.
what I heard, insurance issues with the pit is an issue. Other things, I'm not going to do it. I had thought about doing a very, very small pit that I would still lay in and not stand up in or anything, but every time I've worked in a pit, I have not liked it. Not at all. Some people think that I just don't want a pit because I've never had one, or no. I've worked in them a bunch of times, and I've never once said, oh, I wish I had this at home.
I worked in a shop once that had a pit, and we spent more time like jumping at the net like a trampoline than we did using it for actual work. What would you rather have, a Prevost or a Wonder Lodge, and why? Or do you like Prevost and Wonder Lodge, I guess, and why?
I do like them. I think if they're Detroit powered, and I mean Wonder Lodge, obviously they put everything in there, but then if you're looking at a conversion from like a Marathon or Liberty or something like that, those are also extremely complicated, but pretty.
Wes said in Illinois, pits require ventilation.
Yeah.
By the way, hey Wes, what's up?
Watch Wes work, Wes?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Wes.
Where do you dispose of used fluids? Oil, antifreeze, looks like you get a lot of those.
We have 3 55-gallon barrel drums, and 2 of them are full, and we're working on figuring out where they're going to go to.
Oil is usually not too hard to find someone to come take it. If you can't, you can call a company that'll come in and get them, dispose of it. Same with coolant. But with oil, a lot of times people will just come take it if they have oil-fired
I was
heaters.
hoping to find somebody who has an oil-fired heater they wanted to
Although
come.
down here, I don't know how prevalent that will be.
Yeah.
Is the pit the new plasma cutter?
Yes, it sounds like it is.
Brandon says he does not want to torque any more main bearings.
Yeah.
I almost lost my face to a torque wrench the other day doing that.
Yeah, I think you saw the video.
It's not fun. Can the old oil sock filters be upgraded to the new screw-on types?
Yes, but you can't just buy the conversion kit like you can on the V series. So on your inline 71, that was Steve that was asking that, I think, right?
Yeah, it was
On the inline 71, you have to change the oil filter or the
oil cooler.
oil cooler housing. The housing that has the oil cooler, you need to get it with the spin on it. So you can find it off of a highway truck or something like that.
But there are different ones too.
They are. Sometimes they were mounted on the left side, sometimes they were mounted on the right side, and you have to have the right configuration for that. So it is not the easiest thing to find.
Do you only work on Detroit's, or would you work on a cat motor?
He works on cats. I don't. I only work on a
I
Detroit.
try not to work on cats. Try to keep it to Detroit and Cummins.
What did you just skip that was up there?
That was the one we just answered.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry. Dad took me for a ride in a Detroit City bus, Detroit diesel V8. Holy moly, that thing had power. Never had a V8. We just did 4-cylinder kits in a 92 series one. How long ago was that? Was that a week ago yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't subscribe to Watch Wes Work, do that. And then also a new channel that Wes turned us on to is Hamiltonville Farm. Go check them out. They do a lot of Will It Start videos and stuff like that too. A lot of tractor work.
Nothing better than working on tractors.
But that's a real cool channel.
Use oil for heating your floor in the winter?
I don't think that I'm going to put an oil burner here. But we'll see.
How many buses do you want to have and own?
A couple or a few. I'd like to have a seated historic coach just to have to do for fun. A, to preserve it, and B, maybe use it for movie work or something like that.
What's your list of buses you'd be interested in for a seated coach?
Probably an intercity transit bus, or even a 4104 or Silversides wouldn't be horrible to have.
I was thinking like Scenic Cruiser MC6.
MC6 I would not turn away. That would be if you had a seated MC6 and you wanted to find it a good home, you could donate it to me because I would take care of it.
I wouldn't mind like a VL100 Flex, but I don't even know if there's any of those left seated.
Stan has one that's seated, I think.
He does?
I think so.
He probably has the only VL100 left with seats in it. Do you know anyone who's ever swapped a fishbowl to a mid-engine T-drive?
No, that would be a heck of a lot of work, especially to do for a fishbowl.
Who did the T-drive GM bus conversion?
So that was a 4104, but it wasn't mid-engine. It was still
No,
on
it's in the back, but what was the setup on that one?
I don't know. I mean, a Crown has a mid-engine 671 laid down like a pancake with a T-drive.
Okay, so question about those, because I was asking that in my last video when I was doing the compression test on that 4106. So we always see accelerated wear on the flat banks of the GMs. Do they have the same problem with those inline sixes and the Crowns and stuff when they're laid over?
You would think so.
Because every time you tear down a GM motor, it's always the bottom bank that fails first.
Not always, but most of the time from our experience, it has been the lower bank.
Parring like a parts failure, it's very rare that you see the top bank fail. If it's just straight wearing out, it's usually the bottom bank that wears. But I'm curious if those wear out the same way, because they're laid over in there. But I've never had a chance to tear one of those apart. Sage says Stan does have one. How is Leroy liking being able to run around more?
He likes it a lot. He's been really good about not being on the leash here. We haven't had any issues. We are still obviously concerned about that. We just got a new thing for him too that goes in the bus that monitors the temperature of the bus. So like in the daytime, if I'm out working and he's in the bus where the air's on, it sends us an alarm if the power goes out and stuff like that, or if the heat gets too hot in there. So that's a nice feature to have with him on the property too.
Someone was asking too, when are you going to be back up to work with Phil?
I don't know. I have no idea when I'm getting. Probably no road trips this year is my guess, just because of everything that's going on.
When did you start with Detroit's?
We have a whole video on that. It's like the main thing on our click our about page, and most people here have probably seen it. So
Yeah. It's like how I became the
how
bus
I
group.
became the bus grease monkey, I think is what it's called. Yeah. What was that one that just disappeared? It wasn't all in caps, but
It was to Sage.
oh, okay.
Did the battery issue get resolved in your bus?
Yes. I had one of my Battleborn batteries give me a problem, and Battleborn replaced it. And I have it here to send back to them, and I'll find out hopefully what the deal was with it. But one battery, for some reason, wasn't charging, wouldn't take a charge. It was dropping voltage. We don't really know why or what. They just asked a couple of questions, and then they replaced it. So it's good to know that a company that has a warranty made it easy to replace. But in the future, I will do a video about that. I was just waiting for everything to kind of come to a conclusion. But they've already sent me out a new one and ready to go. But I wanted to find out what was wrong with the old one and stuff still too.
I want to know how Mom's doing after her run-in with the hitch trailer tongue on the golf cart.
That hurt. I had her out here one night, and I had my tool cart trailer hooked up to her golf cart, and it was dark out, and she went to walk between the two things with the trailer hitch thing down and took out both her shins, and she went down hard. Gotta be very, very careful with that. She still had a bump on her leg, and she had humongous bruises for weeks.
Would you be willing to do an apprenticeship one day?
Probably, yeah.
I had them at Ford. They were great.
Yeah.
I never had to do oil changes anymore. I never had to do brakes on stuff anymore. If I diagnosed it, I didn't want to fix it. I didn't have to do it. I loved having apprentices. Are you still collecting parts to put a turbo on Lenny?
Yeah. Yes. Well, that would kind of imply that I've started collecting parts to.
You've collected the bus and the engine.
Yeah. At some point, I'm not opposed to collecting parts for the turbo on.
What if
Lenny.
I'd say I'll donate you a turbo?
Well, I can get a turbo for free, but it's just not one that's made for that.
Well, that's why I was going to take it off of.
Oh.
If I take it off my truck, that means I have to get a new one. You know, it sounds good. It seems to work just fine. How is Lenny and Larry doing?
They're doing good. They've been sitting a while. I know Lenny wants to get on the road. It's just not going to happen, I don't think.
I know mine probably does too, but the amount of work I need to do to it before I should really drive it again, it's going to be a minute before I hop on that. I didn't realize how bad my hub was leaking until I went to go paint my wheels. Reset me. Are your hats made in the USA?
I'm going to guess no.
Bangladesh.
There you go.
I'm assuming the embroidery is the
The
embroidery done
embroidery
here?
is probably done here. For sure it is, because it ships from here, yeah.
Are you going to get your backhoe?
Yes, I want to. The problem is what we thought was a good hitch in the dually
It's only bolted to
for the
floor.
gooseneck, yeah, is only literally like sheet metal screwed basically to the floor of the bed of the truck. I don't even know. Is it just there for a decoration? I have no idea.
I don't know, because what are you gonna do with a set of rails for a fifth wheel or a gooseneck without that?
Without it being attached to the frame.
Yeah, I don't like that style of hitch. I wanted to go to the like B&W style where you just cut a hole in the ball, can flip upside down and store out of the way in the back. If anyone has one of those for a second gen Dodge that doesn't want it anymore, I'll gladly.
I think Brandon just said he's got a truck and he'll pull it home.
Brandon, are we talking about that awesome new semi that you got? Because I'll go with. Okay, so someone's asking again about Bailey's bus. Yeah, she has a bus, but it's not here yet. We got to have room and time to go get it.
I haven't. It's going to take a few days' work to get it going and getting it on the road. And we've been so busy with everything with the shop and then the property and then rainstorms and damage here on the property and then customers coming in, unexpected customers coming in. We've been busy.
Someone said they're looking for a bus to convert. What engine should they be looking for?
Well, if you want me to work on it, it needs to be a 71 or a 92 series.
You do a
If you-
53.
If you want, well, very few buses come with that. If you want to be able to take it anywhere in the country to get it worked on, you probably want to look for something with a Series 60 at least in it.
Well, if they're looking at schoolies too, you could be looking at like a 7.3, Cummins, stuff like that. There are a lot of great options.
I personally love the Detroits, the old school two-stroke Detroits. But to be honest, they are not the easiest thing to find somebody to work on. They have certain parameters. If you operate them outside of that, you're in for a world of hurt. And it seems like the learning curve on them is very large. So
No, it's not very large. It's very expensive. The first time you cook an engine, you learn very quickly what you're supposed to do, and you never do it again. But that first one's a $10,000 to $15,000 mistake. Brandon said yes. That's the semi we're gonna take.
okay, well, I'll let you have a few days off work to go pick up our bulldozer and backhoe.
Yeah, there's a round trip, so we gotta hit Illinois and then up to Michigan and back. It's gonna be loud. Have you figured out what the top speed on that thing is yet? It's got portal hubs, if I remember right, like gear
Does he
reduction
have a low
hubs.
boy for it, or what does he have?
I don't know.
Oh.
Ask him. He'll tell us. Might take us a month at turtle speed. When are you pouring the floor for the new shop?
Weeks away.
How many panels will the shop need solar?
Have no idea about any of that right now.
Still having issues with creepers on the driveway cam.
Actually, since we put the gate up, I've not had any issues that I'm aware of. The gates seem to have helped.
MCI fuel lines, are they steel or silicone?
Well, I've never seen a silicone fuel line on anything.
No.
So is he talking from the tank forward?
Aren't they
They're-
hard lines all the way to the bulkhead?
Most buses are copper all the way. But I think, I'm trying to think, I believe the MCI is copper.
Doesn't it have rubber at the pickup where it goes to the sending units on like the 8s and stuff?
I don't know. But then once it gets back through the bulkhead, it goes to rubber in the back.
Well, usually braided or something like
Yeah.
that. Do you know of any silver sides for sale? Somebody's wanting one.
Do I know he's looking for a silver size or selling one?
Looking for.
I mean, they're all over the place. They pop up all the time. Sage would be the guy to message. Him and Jason seem to know where most of those things are.
Someone's asking again about heated floor in the shop. Yes, the shop is getting a heated floor. Have you ever done a post-mortem on an oversped Detroit?
No.
Well, yours has been oversped. We took yours apart
Oh,
years
yeah.
after it's been overset bed.
Yeah, there was no abnormal wear to the bearings or anything like that.
What do you think it experienced twice maximum speed easy?
Easily twice. It was an ungodly sound. But it only did it for 10 seconds, maybe 15.
Do you keep the gates closed while we're here? Yeah, usually. Will the shop be using single phase to a 3-phase converter?
I don't have anything that runs on 3-phase, so it'll be single phase, single phase, single phase. And then if I end up buying something, it'll have a converter. But it was going to cost, another $25,000 to run 3-phase to the shop when I could just get converters. So
Can we just get a giant 3-phase generator?
that's a possibility too.
I wouldn't mind having to come outside to fire up like a 12V.
I have no
71.
plan. My shop is not going to have room for all this fancy 3-phase crap that everybody wants me to get. So in reality, it's going to, no.
You never know. You might get a nice 3-phase air compressor. What bus work do you have coming up?
A lot. An RTS that we're working on, a 92 series, got some coolant leaks, oil leaks, air leaks. Wonder Lodge, we're doing some more slack adjusters. We're replacing to a modern style, and thermostats, rebuilding a water pump. Going through a Wonder Lodge that was recently purchased. We have an MCI 5 Saudi coming in for some maintenance. The Saudi's real cool because it has a secondary roof built onto it. Because of the sun outside in the Saudi Arabian desert, you need to have a little extra shielding for shading up there. So they built like a raised roof that matches the art. They're really cool. And then another Wonder Lodge, and then lots of stuff.
Have you started working on the Big Mac bus yet with Lance?
No, that'll be Tyler and Lance doing that. I won't really work much on Lance's stuff. That's kind of Tyler's gig, and they've worked out for him to be able to do that. So
Lance has been doing quite a bit of work on it though since it's got back. All the 12-volt system is up and functional. Both of the custom coach split air units are running, and it's got ice cold AC inside of it. All the damage from the bay that caught on fire has been cleaned up. All the bad wiring's been pulled on it. I think what else he's got done to it. Found interesting ant infestation that he's fogged the bus a few times for. Apparently they just started coming out of the dashboard once they got home. Like giant ants. Have you ever had mice problems on your bus?
we've had mice on our bus a few times. Probably should be knocking on wood right now, but we haven't had a mouse on there in probably 3 months. And then that was just one that we saw, and then it had been like 6 months. But we had a couple issues last when we first moved here. They were definitely getting on the bus.
It seems like it gets better though. The longer you're here and more you're doing stuff, there's less of them around. Are you doing a guard again this year?
Yes.
It's actually kind of started itself already.
Yeah.
How many spots do you have for visitors / clients?
Technically there's 3 spots. Two spots have power, and then the one spot is just kind of a parking spot.
Bus Fun Addict said, "Are you coming to get this dozer soon? Any time for an in-frame in mind?"
Just put that down. Is he the owner of the dozer?
I'm not sure. I don't know who has the dozer. That was you.
I don't recognize his YouTube name.
What kind of MPG on a 671V? So a 6V71. That all really depends on the weight.
Yeah, but they usually get around 9 to 10 miles per gallon on the highway. Most of them do. Buses that are light enough to have a 671 in them.
What's the most pricey part you've ever got? I'll tell you ours, mine. When I was at the dealership, we had a bunch of people come through and install DPFs off pickup trucks to the damage of about $10,000 in parts per truck. Oh, no. 6.7 Ford crate motor. Those are like 15 grand. I don't know if that counts as a single part though.
Well, the one water pump that was going to be for Jerry's bus was $1,700 just for a water pump. I thought that was a crazy price.
Versus what, 150 for the rebuild kit and like 2 hours of labor.
Yeah. Leroy is with Kelly right now. They're not here. They went out in the car. So when they come back, he'll be here.
He said new name. This is Jeff from Michigan.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't recognize the name.
So is that the person with it?
Jeff, yeah.
Okay.
I won't have time to come do an in-frame when we come get it. If we come get it, he's going to come get it.
We can get you on the list for in frames though. It's not that long of a list right
Is
now.
it drivable to get it drove down to Tennessee? Because we could definitely do it down here.
We've got at least one in frame sitting on the property right now that should be starting teardown this week, I think. I'm looking forward to doing that. I say that until I go to do the back bank, but let's see what we find on the back side of it.
Yeah, the compression numbers were all over the place.
29% difference from the lowest cylinder to the highest.
But on the bottom bank, everything was pretty crappy for the most part down there, right? And then they were like 50 to 75 higher on the upper bank.
We had 110 psi of difference from the maximum to the minimum. Try not to give away too much. They're gonna have to go watch the video at some point. The bottom bank, the math was only like 13 or 15% across. But when I did the top bank, we had one really far outlier, which put us at 29%. I can't believe it runs as good as it does. And it fired right up again today after doing the compression test, having all the injectors out of it. How long did it crank?
It was quick. It smokes a little bit, but not a crazy amount.
Until you really get into it.
It's still not a crazy amount compared to like the 4104.
No,
like,
yeah, that's true.
it smoked enough to set off its own smoke detector inside, though.
Just backing up on blocks. I mean, it just... Seeing how it runs, starts, acts, I wasn't guessing what we were going to find inside of that engine. And even still today, firing it back up and moving it, it doesn't look like it needs an in-frame, but when you look inside of it and run the compression test on it, it needs an in-frame.
When you look at the size of the oil puddle on my concrete pad after just running it for 2 minutes,
it needs an in-frame.
it needs an in-frame.
Oh, time frame, not in-frame.
Oh, shit. I should be wearing my glasses.
Apparently I should too.
When he was saying, I'm like, man, he didn't tell me there's anything like that wrong with his bus.
That might have been my bad. I'm just stuck in in-frame right now.
Brandon, Ray, let him know when you can come to Michigan to pick up the dozer.
Am I gonna have to meet him somewhere along the route and jump on the truck, or are you gonna come pick me up here? Oh, if he comes here, maybe we can make it have a little more power. Bump the governor up a little bit so we can do highway speeds. I don't know what it's governed at, but 2650 no load. I forgot what engine's in that thing. Oh, Michael even pointed out he asked about a time frame, not an in frame.
Okay, sorry.
I'm an idiot. Just ignore that.
That's clearly established.
How's Mom's car doing?
Really good. It's dirty. It's hard to keep it clean here on the property, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Which we knew that. We've only washed it once since she's owned it. So
You know what though? The one time we did wash it, I didn't put a lot of effort into it, but I hit it with just some detailer wax afterwards, and it looks pretty straight. There's some factory orange peel, but everything has that anymore. Oh, Bus With Us is here.
Hello, Jason. Somebody was just asking about where to buy a silver sides. So if you know of any, let him know.
Like he doesn't have a list sitting in front of him at all times. It's an AV71T in his bus. We can make that have power.
Oh, hey, super chat. SJ Sully, thank you.
Oh, it's straight pipe now too, so it's 10 more horsepower. Does it have a wastegate that I can weld shut? I got a perfect high flow intake for you sitting in the bed of the truck. You can have it. It's free. We'll just hook that filter right to the turbo.
I think I have a K&N air filter.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. Do not do that, Sam.
I mean, yeah. Jason said he knows of a few, but they all need serious work. Brandon said easy now.
Well, I just get them towed here, and then I'll take care of the serious work.
It depends on how serious. Do you have a favorite YouTube channel, mechanic, you like to watch? I think that's what that question was asking. Yeah. Yeah. Favorite channel you like watching for another mechanic?
Who's yours?
I got a couple, so go ahead with yours first. And
I don't know that I have a favorite. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of YouTube channels. So I've watched Watch West Work, who's on here tonight.
yeah, I watch a lot of his stuff.
I've watched some of Musty's stuff, and VW Darren. I watched some of his stuff.
Western Truck and Tractor Repair. I watch Mobile Tech that does heavy equipment and stuff. IC Weld isn't really a mechanic, but he does a lot of tearing apart of heavy equipment to do welding. Watch a decent amount of his stuff.
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of YouTube channels. So
I watch a lot of people that make race cars too, but that's not exactly mechanic stuff.
And then, yeah, I watch some stupid stuff like that he watches too, with people playing with souping stuff up and doing dumb shit.
I watch a ton of racing stuff. Thoughts on heat pumps on AC units? Are they worth it?
Like our Mr. Cool heat pump unit? Is that like that kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I assume.
We have a heat pump. We use it all the time. It got us through the winter.
Two Feather says 2 silver sides for sale here in Massachusetts. Chuck has them on Facebook Marketplace. Vice Grip Garage. I guess he's a mechanic. That's a great channel.
I've watched a few.
I love Vice
Tyler,
Grip.
every once in a while, you got to watch this, and I'll laugh my butt off at something.
Oh, I love the one grit sanding block. I was watching him work on a Saab, and I was very confused, but laughing the entire time.
Is it the GT Ogre guy? Is he the guy that posts all the videos of people peeing on his building and everything on his security cam? Is that guy?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Apparently, we watch completely different stuff.
We do, but I have a whole collection of people pissing on my property videos that one of these days I'm going to post.
Notice the last Wonder Lodge had flexible straight pipe. Is that an inexpensive change? Neither of those were straight piped. They all still had mufflers.
It had a muffler. But they had that flex. They took out the factory at some point and put that flex in there. It just made it easier and cheaper to repair whatever they had wrong with it.
KT3406. I used to watch his channel, but then he just started senselessly blowing stuff up, and
that's why I don't watch that next one that's listed on there too, because they blew up Detroit's for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. If I'm going to blow something up, I'm going to blow something up actually making it work and do stuff. It doesn't take a genius to tie a throttle off. What size is your shop going to be? 40 by 78 is the building
The building,
size.
but we're putting a small apartment at the end, so.
What's the inside height, headroom of your silver sides?
I don't know. It's taller than me. My hair doesn't touch.
Sage can't stand up straight, and
in yours.
He might be able to in the center. I don't remember.
And
it's
yes,
tight.
Jason, I did see the sign that you sent me. It is awesome. I sent it to Kelly, and I will probably send it to Dan to have him create something like that for me. It was a picture of like a person peeing, and then underneath of it was like a couple of, we'll say, eggs and a pair of scissors.
Do you still do repair on boats?
Since I'm not traveling, the boat would have to come here. So
it would be a pain to get a semi in the driveway with one on it. Getting it here would be great, but turning it around and getting it back out of the driveway, I wouldn't want to try that. Will you be adding a pool to the property?
I think in our long-term future where our house is and stuff, that yeah, we would like to have a pool here.
You could do a hell of an infinity pool with how much the property drops off over there.
We could do a very nice pool.
You could have someone else do that though. I don't know how to build pools. I think we're caught up again. If I missed anything, go ahead and post your question again, and I'll get back to it here. But we're at 54 minutes. You want to wrap it up in an hour?
We'll wrap it up at an hour.
So you got 6 minutes to get your questions in. Is it possible to have audio during these Q&As? That there's an audio problem. It's probably on your end.
I don't know what they're asking.
I don't know. Unless they're talking to us, then that gets dangerous. Someone said they'll bring the Titanic. Is Gatlinburg? Is that where the Titanic's at? Don't they have a Titanic replica thing either?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe they'll figure it out later. New skill challenge, backing up from the road. There's a surprising amount of people that have to back down the driveway. We've never had anyone do the hill in reverse yet either.
No.
If you do it, you'll probably move to the top of the leaderboard, whatever your class is. Style points win. See any vintage Land Rovers in your neck of the woods?
Nope.
We did the other day when we went to Trader Joe's.
You are right.
Someone had one outside of their house, and it looked like it was driven a lot. Hang on, we can get that answer real quick. So someone needs a blower for a Detroit. They're in Ohio, and I know Sage was dealing with somebody in Indiana, and I believe Sage is still in the chat here. Sage, who are you going through to get those blowers?
They're in Michigan, not Indiana.
I thought they were in northern Indiana. Were they up into Michigan already? I thought they were like South Bend area.
I thought it was like a Amish place or something too.
It's
I thought it was in
somewhere
Michigan.
like that. Are you wanting Brandon?
Yeah.
If you
Highway Hunter Ray.
yeah, Brandon.
But he'll get in touch with us and Tyler, and then I'll send you an email or a text.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Him. All right. Reset again.
I'm sure he wants it out of there. That's what the problem is.
If a bus with an 8V71, how hard is it to add Jake brakes and wiring to the bus? It's a 1970 MCI MC7. Adding the Jake shouldn't be hard to it.
No, it's not. That's not that. If you have all the bits and pieces, it's not that hard.
There should be room. Lance's new one, I think, has valve covers for Jakes. It's 8.
Yeah. Some buses are very hard to do it because, like, if you do it like on a scenic cruiser, the battery box is mounted. You don't have room for the valve cover in there. You got to modify all kinds of crap to be able to do it. And some buses don't have a lot of room to put those valve covers on, but that one you can.
They said Sage used an Amish guy in Detroit. I didn't know that they were Amish in Detroit, but
Told you I thought it was Michigan.
I thought it was Indiana. Someone said they were driving through the other day on their way from Alabama and thought about stopping and saying hi. Should have messaged on Patreon. Do you have room to make a circle drive?
Yeah, and I think eventually we will. But it's way down on the list of things to do.
Right there, Lead Diesel Service in Greenville, Michigan.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Really thought that was Indiana.
I don't know what Lance paid for the Big Mac bus.
I'll tell you later. I don't know if he wants that information given out necessarily. He got a good deal. I'll say that much. He got a really good deal on it.
I would say that bus is worth 10 to 12. So if you got anything less than that, then he did good.
When's your next road trip in Lenny?
Right now, there's nothing on the schedule. That was so nice of you, Tyler.
I usually just blow my burps at him, so. Is replacing the injectors cheaper than repairing them?
Yes, and if you don't have all the tools to do it and ways to test them. The D-deck injectors are very expensive compared to
But the testing jig is not cheap either.
yeah.
Is it true most buses are mostly aluminum?
Most vintage buses, especially the GMs, are, yes. But not all buses. An Eagle is not mostly aluminum.
Any plans for a moonshine still?
No.
But I
Don't even go. We may end up. We use a lot of distilled water for radiators. We were discussing this.
yeah, you can buy the build your own still kits to distill your own water. And
So
essential oils.
If we did have one here, it would just be for making water for radiators.
And essential oils. Can make those too. If you make your own fuel at home, though, you have to pay taxes on it and declare it and stuff. So that's a pain. You don't want to do that.
I am not saying we're having a still here. I was just joking, by the way.
Someone's asking again about concrete. Hopefully soon.
When I call the concrete contractor, he said it would be about 2 weeks for him to come out. Last time I talked to him was about a week and a half ago. I didn't want to call him until I had everything out here done for him ready to come, because we've got some things we're still working on here, and I didn't really get any of it done today and probably won't get it done tomorrow. So we're probably 3 weeks or so away from having the foundation put in, and then that's if the contractor can actually come in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is probably a month when they say that. So my guess is 4 to 6 weeks we'll have the foundation.
And then it's got to sit and cure before we put the building up.
Well, we could put the building up right away. It doesn't weigh anything. But the buses, we can't put buses in it for a month.
A month?
30 days to let the concrete cure.
Wow. I didn't think it was going to be that long. Someone asked why it's in all caps. Questions to us are in all caps. If you want to talk amongst yourselves, that's what lowercase is for. It makes it a lot easier for us to see messages, to grab them out of there, and not have to read everything that goes by.
Oh, hey, Troy. I was thinking about you the other day. I saw you comment on a post on Hamiltonville Farm, and I didn't want to tie up his thread and say, hey, but I hadn't heard from you in a while. I wondered how you were doing.
Who's that?
Troy. He's the one that helped us do the foundation down there.
Oh.
Or the pad down there and stuff. He helped us cut down trees. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Will it be hard to retain the Jake brake parts if I have 0 parts for the 8V71? What do you mean, will it be hard to get all the parts? Is that what they're asking? Not really. They made a ton of them. There are a lot of parts out there available, and it shouldn't be too hard to track most of it down. Except apparently a buffer switch.
Yeah, well, there's different ones, and some of them are very rare.
How about digging a bunker into the side of the hill?
Like for tornadoes, that would be nice. We've had some pretty horrific weather here. We get more rain here than like Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon. Isn't that unusual that you would think that Tennessee gets that much rain? But we do. I think we get 58 inches a year here. Is that what it is?
Yeah, right around there. So I looked it up, and to be considered a rainforest, we have to get 80 inches a year. So if we have a particularly heavy year, we could end up as a rainforest. And I want to find out when that happens. Jason said he's looking for 671 4-valve Jake setup, too. If anyone has a set.
Go back. Somebody just said when you get water from your dehumidifier.
When you get water from a dehumidifier, it's the same as distilled. Best part is free.
Can you get whiskey from your... Oh, sorry.
Well, we're at like 64 minutes, I think.
Okay.
Gonna go
Yeah,
ahead
we're
and
going to
wrap
finish up.
Because it is raining. It's going to get worse. Got anything to add at the end?
I don't. Just that it's going to be a busy week. You should see a lot of videos coming up. We've got some really cool news about something. I think like Thursday we'll announce that and have that video. If you get a chance to join our Patreon, I recommend you do that. We have a lot of information about things going on here in the property on Patreon. Tons and tons of stuff. Changes that we're making, things that are upcoming, stuff that we've got. Lots of cool stuff like that.
Yep. I'll have videos up throughout the week too. I've got a pretty big project I'm getting ready to start with Lance, so there'll be more of that stuff coming.
Yeah, more engine work. I think Jerry's going to stop back by with his bus at some point too. He was saying the building's going to be getting built soon. Just lots of really, really cool stuff like that. So, but I'm tired. I want to catch up on some sleep, and I think it's gonna be nice to have a rain day tomorrow where we're not actually. I don't think we're gonna be working tomorrow.
I think we're gonna be parking a bus and getting them hooked up, and that's it.
Yeah.
When I looked earlier, it was like 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. is when my weather stopped. It was just solid storms. So
Nice. All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. And I don't know when we're gonna have the next live. That'll probably be a while, but lots and lots going on. Have a good night.